Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Film Buds podcast. This is episode number 142. Yeah, you got it.
Wow. I've been studying for 2 weeks.
Yeah, me too. And my name is Henry.
I'm Chloe.
This time around, if you're tuning in, you may have noticed something a little bit different from the title of the episode. We are going to be doing a review of Message from the King, the Chadwick Boseman film on Netflix from 2016. And that is it. That's all we're doing.
That's all, folks.
Potentially just as looking ahead by how the next few weeks and month look, I think we're going to try and at least keep that same style up for at least a little while and just see how people respond to it. Some people may like it more. Some people may like it less.
Some people, the less we talk, the better.
People say, Henry, stop, So also, thank you very much to the people in the last few weeks, month or so, who have written in with constructive criticism and all that. I think we've just been doing the remote show for an extended period of time is a little straining. And so I think we're always trying to bring you the best possible show. Bear with us with these changes, and we hope people like this new format.
Yeah.
Well, Chloe, first of all, as I said before the show, thank you so much again for taking the show this past week with your father. I really enjoyed listening. Had a blast.
Oh, I'm so glad. I'm glad somebody likes listening to him.
I enjoy it. Since you did take the show last week, we didn't get to hang out really. So
that is so sad.
How have you been?
Pretty good, Henry. Can't complain at all by any means. The weather's getting nice in Chapel Thrill, and you're in Thrillsboro next door, so pretty much the same thing. And that's making quarantine a little more bearable here, so very grateful, etc., etc. But yeah, I missed you, so this is so nice.
I missed you too. I'm doing all right. My school is having a outage on the online school system. And so I have work to do that's due tonight, but I'm not able to. And Chloe, I don't know if I've ever talked about this with you before.
Oh.
But I truly dislike it when things go wrong. People can roast me for that. They can roast me. I may be in the minority. Oh yeah. On Music Buds, our other show, our second show.
You just short-circuited.
Yeah, I did. Thank you. I got to, and we have some other interviews coming up, but I got to talk to Potty Mouth, coolest band in the whole world that I've talked about on the show. And then I interviewed the Knives Out composer, which was really cool. Really cool. Check those out. All right. Well, Chloe, you wanna just jump in?
Yeah, let's jump in.
All right. Well, let's get to our review of Message from the King, currently on Netflix. And I think, Chloe, you've got the clip this time. Let's take a listen.
Jacob, it's Bianca. I need your help, please.
I've got a situation. It's Bianca. She's got a brother.
You told me Bianca was not a problem anymore.
Bianca isn't a problem anymore. That's his problem.
I found Bianca at the mark. She didn't touch it.
Hey, what are you doing, man? Why did it kill me? Why?
Piss them off. I got the fucking Duke, I swear.
What's this about, my friend?
My sister, Bianca.
Well, as we said, Message from the King came out in 2016 and is on Netflix. It is directed by Fabrice DeWells. It stars the late Chadwick Boseman, Luke Evans, Alfred Molina, Teresa Palmer, Arthur Debinian. That's about it, I think.
That was more than, shout out to Arthur.
Yeah. And the synopsis is: a mysterious outsider from South Africa named Jacob King arrives in Los Angeles to look for his missing younger sister.
Dang.
Yeah. We are, I guess one reason we're talking about this is because Chadwick Boseman did just pass away very tragically. And
it's very sad.
It is very sad. And so, Chloe, I appreciate you choosing this one because I had forgotten about this one, and so I'm glad you brought it up.
Yeah, I feel like it was one that really was like oh, that exists?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he did the festival circuit and stuff, and I think it's the director's like first English speaking movie. I'm pretty sure. Which probably had something to do with it, I guess. But and it's on Netflix, so relatively accessible. And yeah.
Well,
so sad. It's so sad.
It is. It's very sad.
But everybody thinks. I mean, yeah, it's so sad.
Yeah.
But dang.
Well, Chloe, do you want to?
Yeah.
Do you want to kick things off, or shall I?
How about you do it, Henry?
Okay. I'll give it a whirl. As I said, I had not heard of this one, and I didn't watch the trailer or anything going in. I was curious just because I've loved Chadwick Boseman and really everything that I've seen him in.
Departure.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Overall, I liked it. I didn't love it. It's just a fairly standard, like kind of potboiler, almost like 70s, like throwback crime Los Angeles thriller. It felt almost like a subdued version of David Ayer.
Okay.
Like a Los Angeles setting.
Definitely
underworld.
A better version.
Yeah, crime. Yeah. And yeah, this is much better than The Tax Collector.
Don't get twisted.
Yeah. I really enjoyed how singular and focused it was a lot of the time. It was just Chadwick Boseman going around talking to these various people, and it never really cut away from that too often.
In a weird way, it came off very realistic. Like, unfortunately, I guess it is pretty, but the way it was, you really felt kind of in it without it being like overly gritty. It was not trying, for whatever it was, if it was slow, sometimes whatever, it was never trying too hard.
Yeah.
Like very natural, I think.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I would agree. After a while, I felt like some of the characters like Luke Evans and Alfred Molina, I just felt like there was so little learned about the world. The world itself was not all that unique. So I found myself kind of phasing in and out after a while. I liked Chadwick Boseman a lot in it. I enjoyed that character arc, but I felt like people kind of dropped off, and the storylines, the supporting storylines were just not all that interesting to me. I was never bored, but I was never engaged or really blown away by anything either.
Yeah. Well, in some ways, that's kind of what I liked about it. Like, I feel like it wasn't gossipy, if that makes sense. Like, a lot of movies like this kind of, for lack of attention or something, glorify or like mystify, like put a shiny coat on like these very real, unfortunately, like typical situation. In some ways, luckily, some ways not. Most people don't see every day like sex trafficking and stuff is like not a happy thing, obviously. And I kind of like that it's like how we talked about, what was that movie? The like animated movie about whatever that we paired with Wrinkle in Time, even though it was literally the exact opposite.
Tower?
Yeah. So but anyway, I don't like things that pay attention to, including real news and stuff, like pay attention to the bad people and like, all that kind of thing. So in that way, I appreciated that they were flat characters because I know too much about that kind of more than I think they deserve anyway, that kind of person that they're playing. In that way, I really liked that they were flat, because if it was really, like you were saying, David Ayer, like if it indulged, like had like scenes in strip clubs and like whatever, blah, 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 for like way too much, then I really would not, I would not be about it, because it takes away, I think, from, it's like, why are they making this? Like, do they actually, in this movie, he's searching for his sister, right? And so it's almost like, do they actually care about his sister? They just want to make a shoot 'em up movie, like that kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
If I can weave reality with fiction there, as far as I don't know how to say that better. Do they actually care about the world they're portraying and how painful it is and everything?
Right. I felt that too. Yeah.
So in that way, I didn't mind. And also weird, I think it kind of was helpful that like Luke Evans played that role, because like, oh, it's Luke Evans, which is like kind of, you usually don't want that. But again, in this, it kind of, at least for me, gave me enough context, even if it was not to do with the movie, that I was like, okay, I kind of have the exposition, if you will, of this character, even if it isn't really. Does that make sense at all?
Yeah,
and like
so.
Alfred Molina too. It's just like, you know, that it's like familiar faces,
right?
Like substitutes for stuff I don't want. Like,
yeah, if David Ayer had directed this, we would have been following the Draco Malfoy actor's character.
I forgot even. Yes, that's kind of my point.
That was the most distracting thing out of anybody.
That was so. I thought, okay. Yeah. I kind of love. Oh my god, it was kind of a problem because in the spoiler alert, he makes some struggling noises, and I was like, oh my god, this is the snowball fight from Prisoner of Azkaban. I was like, whoa.
Iconic scene.
Oh, yeah. I had who I wanted to direct it like 2 seconds ago, and I totally... Oh! What's his name? Florida Project?
Oh, Sean Baker?
I would have liked Sean Baker to direct this movie. I think that would have been really
It did have a bit of a Tangerine look to it.
But like almost not... It was like, I don't know if it was a little trepidatious or like what, but it was a little something was a little off. And like in the beginning, when Chadwick Boseman kind of breaks down, it's not his acting at all. It's very, coming from him, it's very real and genuine. It's the way it's shot that's like, I've seen this before. I'm not really about like filming from over top with his hands on his head. Like, I've just seen that a lot. You know what I mean by that? And so I think the direction itself was what let me down the most, for sure. I think the story was really good. I loved how they formed their little corner. Like, I've never even been to LA. I don't know if it really meant, like, I liked that they formed the community, and I liked that, you know, some people were just nice, some people were just mean. Everyone was kind of doing their thing and interacting whatever ways. Yeah, I thought it was very well realized. So I think the writing was good. The acting was, I don't want to say obviously because I don't want to dismiss it. Chadwick Boseman, such a talent, very compelling in this. Oh, he's just so measured because, you know, this role could have been very like Edward Cullen, or it could have been very like hulky or something. You know what I mean? And there wasn't any of that. May I say, and I'm not trying to M. Night Shyamalan people, this was like the best ending of all time. I was like, oh yeah, wow. It was like very Bollywood in some ways. It was wild. This movie to me.
It got intense real quick. A lot of different moving pieces.
Yeah, very Bollywood to me at the end. And I was just like, this is what I wanted. I also thought Teresa Palmer was really, really, really good. I
liked her as well. Has she? I can't remember what I've seen her in.
I was almost gonna say she's like very up there. Like, I hate to use this, but she is like for sure A-list, but she kind of is under the radar at the same time. Yeah. She like came up at the same time as Margot Robbie, I would say. She's an Australian actress, and she's been in tons of stuff. I'm trying to think. Warm
She has
Bodies.
one of those faces that I feel like I've seen a lot.
She has been in so many movies. Yeah, for sure. But I think she slipped into this really well too, kind of in the same way Chadwick, I don't know why I guess I'm just, I don't know. Sad, but.
It's upsetting.
But, and I'm not even that kind of person. Like, not to sound like a sociopath, but usually when famous people die and stuff like that, like I'm like, oh, well, they lived a good life. Like, that's sad, but, you know. Like Diana Rigg, like, that's sad, but, like, you know. But, God, he was just the best. He didn't breathe for 1 minute without doing something positive. It's like, yeah. He's very kind of seamless, I guess. He really becomes the character without overdoing it, you know? Hashtag Dan Day-Lewis. I think Teresa Palmer did the same thing, especially with like the Southern accent. Like, we've seen that.
It was because I'm always a stickler for accents, and I thought she did well.
I thought it was great. Great. And the characters in this story overall are pretty tropey. Like, that's like they could be, but that's why I'm saying with the acting, I think particularly is what elevated it. Like, the Teresa Palmer of this movie, the character is like, we see it time and time again. But it's also the writing, because, you know, it didn't belittle her, and neither did like the conversation they have in the diner.
Yeah,
like that, I think, speaks to kind of the subtleties in writing that can really transform something to be
sure
kind of important, if you will. But
yeah.
And I like the other woman too, who I haven't seen before. I thought she was actually really, really good, because that's a hard role to do well too, I think.
I think the world itself is well built. I like the cast of characters. I do find that it was either lacking really memorable moments for me, because the world, it is written so sparsely that I feel like a few days removed now, I can't remember all that much about it. One thing in terms of the tone, it is consistent, but there were points where I just felt it was kind of monotonously dreary. There wasn't really any humor. It was just constant dark, dour story. And
I don't think there was any humor.
Exactly. And so there were just at points where I just started to get a little
worn down.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't mind that. It might be like, now part of it might be because you had no idea going into it what it was.
Sure.
So maybe it was almost like a preparation thing in some ways, because
could be.
I think there are a lot of movies like this that are there for a reason with still being quote unquote entertaining. You know, this movie brings up a lot of things, you know, kind of like Chinatown style, but like woke. You know what I mean? Yeah. Mm-hmm. But so maybe that had part to do with it. But I agree with you, like I said. And I do think it comes kind of down to the direction. Like, I feel like if it was like Queen and Slim had some lulls, if you ask me. But the way it was shot was so like invigorated that in some way or another you were in there.
Not that it has to be in there, but there was humor in that movie. You know,
well, yeah.
As well. That I think brought some levity to it.
Yeah. There are other examples, but
of course, yeah.
Some movies just aren't the. But I loved the end. Again, if it was just sad all the way through, that was the other thing. Nobody in this movie was really a victim, which I really appreciated as well. I really like that. Yeah, I think it's one of those where you should watch, which is so weird, but maybe watch a trailer so you're in the right. You kind of know what you're getting when you watch it, because it is kind of intense. But it's. If you're watching for half an hour and you're like, this is sad, and like, this is just, you should just keep watching, you know? And it's not too long.
It isn't. No, it's pretty tight. I do, in terms of Chadwick Boseman's character, some of it may just have to do with Chadwick Boseman having passed away. I like the scene where he's in the morgue and then afterwards, because he could have.
What a scene!
You're kind of expecting him to react a certain way in front of this guy, but then
some tomato soup, like they always do in movies.
Yeah. I would have loved to have seen that, but then he doesn't act that way, and then afterwards there is this, you know, an aftershock that worked really well, and I think that just kind of speaks to Chadwick Boseman's own life and how he went about things.
Oh, it makes everything more painful.
That's the thing. It makes it more
and impressive.
It makes it more painful,
when you think,
but also more compelling in the case of the film.
Yes, and just impressive.
Yeah,
all he accomplished. Oh my gosh,
yeah.
He worked so hard for basically everybody else.
Yeah,
it's like a personal thing, I guess, but I tend to respect and admire and also find the performances better of people who do projects that like matter not to be, I mean, who's to say what blah blah blah, but I think we all know what I mean. So thank you very much and good night. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think Scream has done particularly a ton for humankind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No shade. Some people are gonna disagree with me, but
did a lot for
the Emoji Movie. Is that good?
That's because I mean, Scream, in terms of humanity, I don't know if it's done a lot. It's done a lot for movies, but I think the Emoji Movie is a much that doesn't. I don't know if that's adding examples, a whole.
Frankly, for my purposes, but like,
I don't know if the Emoji Movie adds too much to anything.
I heard it was getting the Nobel Peace Prize this year.
Oh, really?
There isn't much competition, to be fair.
Hey, maybe that's what we should do next week. Ride the wave.
But I find it so much more compelling. And like, I'm thinking of Michael B. Jordan as well as another one that comes to mind kind of immediately. And even Brie Larson's kind of work in that party, and I'm kind of just playing name association, but those all happen to be true. But where they only make projects that have roots and importance and nutrients. Yeah, exactly. And so I think that's like good art. You can see life in it. So I think that's why also more can be taken from it because he's part of it and vice versa.
I agree. Yeah.
Oh my God, that morgue scene was good. Now that was one of my favorite things about it. I almost wish there was a little more of it. Like I loved, oh my gosh, I don't want to do any spoilers, but I just love the way the story was woven together, and I liked how it went from here. Like the Asian supermarket, I guess.
Right.
With the
that was good.
Mother and son. And then the what was the other thing I was thinking of? I don't know, but he just kind of went about town.
Just wandering around.
Loved it, you know. Yeah. Some people, but let me say another thing I loved, especially as far as creating the world, which happens, or in this case, kind of displaying the world, I guess. Especially since he's coming there from South Africa, which is, you know, obviously different. It's a whole different world, but he can figure stuff out pretty quickly, I guess. So the interaction with the Popo was very interesting to me in a lot of levels because obviously South Africa has a pretty sordid past. I mean, most of the world does, but obviously it doesn't get much more racist than apartheid. So like we've been new, right? But it was interesting. It was like how Trevor Noah had this bit, I guess, where he talked about his experience with getting pulled over for the first couple times because he was like, what the heck? So anyway, so this was kind of like that. It was so interesting how his perception of the events, basically he gets pulled over and his perception of the police kind of forms in real time, or his knowledge of the, whatever you want to say, knowledge of the police forms in real time. You discover it with him. Yeah, but you also know. Oh, so yeah. You're like, oh no.
You're like you're with him as he's discovering it, but you have in the back of your mind, you're like, uh-oh. Like, I mean, the scene that I think is really good is the one in the rain with exactly. At the dumpsters. That's excellent.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. My point bringing it up mostly, aside from that bit of innate social commentary, just because it's also true, though, you know what I mean, is as far as setting up this world in particular, it helps you see why he does what he does because of his options. His options are laid out, you know. Hashtag defund the police. But he couldn't just like go to the police and be like, my black immigrant sister's missing. Can you help me out? I think that these rich white males from like Beverly Hills or whatever have something to do with it. Like you can't, you know? So, and I just really appreciated it. To me, this was like the version of Taken that I'm down for. Yeah,
that's a good, interesting comparison. Yeah,
because again, there wasn't a bow tied on top of it.
No,
you know.
Yeah,
which I think is rude because these are real things. Again, they're choosing to use as plot points and storylines what really the tragedies that overtake our society and world every day. So, like with Taken, then Taken 2, and she keeps getting kidnapped. Like that is rude, kind of. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like, and I think what kind of speaks to that without spoilers is I think when the ending, the resolution of the movie, or at the very end, not necessarily the climax, he's back where he started. In a cried. Sense. Did you?
The last 3 minutes, solid bawling.
Really? Yeah.
Solid.
He's back where he started in a way, having accomplished this or that. Again, no spoilers. And as you said, it's bittersweet in that way. There is a sense of accomplishment, but also
nothing's perfect, but you do the best you can.
Exactly. It's this realization of, okay, now what is going to happen? You know, or now where am I going to go? What's next? Yeah, that works really well.
I'm almost crying again.
Yeah. Me too.
But what's more realistic is this kind of thing where the hero is not perfect and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
and magical, I guess, is a better one.
And I think so too. Because not to always bring it back to David Ayer, of course, the best filmmaker of all time.
Yeah, what's up?
of this decade, auteur David Ayer. I bring him up because he does have a big following, and he always sets his movies in LA. It almost feels like if when he did End of Watch, if he had kept on that more subdued route instead of going into the blockbuster realm and becoming more glossy and popularized, I guess you can say, it feels. And as you brought up Sean Baker, like if Sean Baker was given a thriller or an action movie, that's kind of what he would make. So
I would have loved Sean Baker to do it. No shade.
He's
no
great.
shade for Brees, but I would have loved Sean Baker to have directed this.
Yeah, and he's on Letterboxd, the social media site, and so he reviews. Yep, and he reviews movies. He talks about it, and it's really cool. Really cool.
Dang. Yeah, I'm waiting for him to discover me on the Instagram. My Instagram account like he does for people, but mine doesn't exist because I just made it to try to get that couch from Durham Rescue Mission, but didn't even get the couch. What the heck?
Oh man, what a shame.
Get discovered.
Chloe, anything else about Message from the King?
Boy, I really liked it.
Yeah, or any other thoughts on Chadwick Boseman? When we're on the subject.
Please don't get me started on.
Yeah.
Honestly,
how good was he in Defy Bloods? You know.
Oh, and I hate it because you don't want to like minimal like be looking at a human as if they're like a framed piece in a snobby art museum. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But knowing what he was dealing with intrinsically whilst making a movie like that, just because everything is like. Wow.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to talk about it well because again,
his work speaks for itself, you know, and
absolutely,
and also just
for him speaks
his own
for him.
His own actions in his personal life.
Amen.
Yeah.
Such a good, just the best.
Yeah. I got to check out even if it's not amazing. I got to check out 21 Bridges from last year with him because
it's not bad.
Oh, you watched it?
Yeah, plot twist.
Oh,
I saw it soon after it came out.
Did you?
Yeah. I'm full of surprises. Henry.
Spoiler. Whoa.
Full of surprises.
That's shocking. Okay.
Yeah.
Man, you were ready for Extraction then, because that's done by the Russos. You were prepping. Well, that's good to know. I mean, I'll watch it definitely.
I was actually thinking about Extraction when we watched this, or we watched this movie, okay? Separately, but together. You know what I mean?
We did. Yeah. I did. Yeah.
But,
big time.
But I was thinking about Extraction towards the end of this movie, and I said, dang it, if this was the kind of movie, if they swapped roles as far as like viewing figures and stuff like that, the world would be a better place.
Oh, yeah.
Extraction freaking sucks.
Yeah.
It's racist. Yeah. I'm just going to say it. It's a racist movie.
But hey, Chloe, don't worry. It's only got over 99 million views, so don't worry about it.
God.
All right.
Check this out. Check it out. The movie.
Oh, yeah.
Check
this one out. Yeah,
for sure. It. You won't regret. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
You won't regret it. You've got to be ready, but you won't regret it.
Yeah. All right, well, out of 5, Chloe, I'll go 3.5.
Oh, man. Okay, you know what I give it?
Please.
I give it, like, really? Okay, so basically, we would my dad, my sister and I would drive up to Vermont, like, once a year, right? Mm-hmm. And then, but we would either stop on the way there or the way back in New York, in Manhattan, where my family lived. Not every time, but there was one time I remember really specifically, we got into the Lower East Side like really, really, really late at night. And so you're seeing this beautiful like skyline. If you look kind of up, you're kind of scared because you're jolting, but you're with your family, so it's nice. It's like it's like the most tangible form of cognitive dissonance. But you're like, I'm going somewhere I'm excited to be. And it's like late at night, can't really see. I can smell some things, can't really see much except for the pretty lights and everything. I'm just excited to see my aunt and, go to sleep.
Wow, it's very layered. I'm sure that'll leave people thinking for a while.
Thinking some kind of things.
Yeah, piecing all that together. All right, well, as we said at the top of the show, that's all we're doing for this week.
Dang.
You know, and obviously it is a change.
But we should keep doing listener questions.
We can, yeah. I don't have one for this week though.
I'm just saying, otherwise I feel like it's cold as ice.
Sure. And when we do have questions, we can always work them in one way or the other.
So feel free to write in.
Yeah. And yeah,
we're still here for you. You're still here for us. Indeed.
Yeah.
We love the buddies.
If you do have thoughts on the shorter format, please let us know at FilmBuds on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And then TheFilmBudsPodcast at gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. We're always trying to create the best show. So please let us know with any thoughts you have if you're new or if you've been listening for a while.
Yeah.
So.
Bonjour.
Yeah.
Or bonjour, no. I don't know.
Yeah,
welcome.
Either of those work.
Yeah. Aloha. So happy to get to hang out with you, Henry.
I know. Yeah, you too, Chloe. I've really missed you. The last 2 weeks or so, something has been off. I've been rudderless.
Oh, well, call me
Yep.
I was gonna make it that wouldn't be good, but
okay.
Anyway, yeah, call me I'm a rudder. I'm a real rudder over here.
Yeah, I've always thought that. I'm your lamp and you're my rudder.
And hey, call me Steve Carell because I love lamp.
Yeah, that's
Thank
good.
you. Thank you.
And now
and
next
I'm so excited because we picked him up. And we watched this trailer in the theater together basically 6,000 times probably we saw this. And every time I started doing my little karaoke thing in the theater, probably annoying everybody. Ooh!
Yeah. Next week, as Chloe has been alluding to, we are going to be reviewing Waves, the A24 film from last year, done by the guy who did It Comes at Night.
Last year, dang, I've been awaiting this movie.
Yeah, and scored by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross.
Oh, come on.
So, I mean, you can't get much better than that.
Second only to the Knives Out guy.
Yeah, oh, he's fantastic. And thank you. I doubt you're listening, but thank you so much for doing that. That was great.
That's what we should say to everybody at the end of the show. We doubt you're listening, but thank you so much for staying with us.
We doubt you've made it this far, but thank you so much if you have. Okay, well, Chloe, it's so great to see you. Thank you so much for everything that you do and just being you, Chloe.
Oh my God. The compliment is returned.
Oh yeah, I hope we get to find a way to hang out sometime in person soon. I don't know if that's going to happen, but...
Oh, we'll work it out.
Yeah, we'll figure something out.
Absolutely. We'll figure something out. Well, we'll be responsible and we'll be excited because we know that we'll see each other at some point, which that's so exciting. When? Who knows? And anticipation is a wonderful thing, you know?
It's killing me.
And we have technology, so we're so lucky. We're so lucky.
Yeah.
Stand with Hong Kong. Also, I ain't paying $30 for a movie.
Heck
Jesus Christ, because they don't have enough.
Well, the thing is, apparently Mulan is coming out to stream on Disney Plus in December, so we don't have to wait too long to watch it.
Then why are people paying $30 for it?
Don't know.
Oh my God.
You have to support Disney. They're struggling, I'm sure.
Henry, do you like Hong Kong?
Yeah.
You like standing up?
I love standing up.
Perfect. We stand with Hong Kong.
It's one of my favorite activities.
Oh, this is so much fun.
Yeah. Okay. And as always, we hope everyone is staying safe.
Yeah.
Please wear a mask.
Oh my gosh.
You know, just please do.
Yeah, please. And 95s if you can. Hold it up to the light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stay safe.
Try to keep taking care of yourself too.
Yeah. Be smart.
Enjoy a little bit.
Yeah.
Henry, I enjoyed a little bit by being with you.
Same here, Chloe. Yeah, I always do.
And I enjoyed this 968,467 times as much as you did.
And we'll see you next time.
Happy birthday to you.